Antonio Cromartie back with us. Your Jets beat the Pats Week 16. Oh, Antonio, how do you feel about the Patriots in this one?
Honestly, I feel the Patriots are going to lose this weekend.
Ooh.
The reason I say that is he has a hard time with this type of defense. He's had a hard time with Rex Ryan's defense. If you think about this defense, this is the same exact defense that Bob Sutton took from Rex Ryan to take to Kansas City. Also, Kansas City is playing a lot stronger.
Describe it. How do you see it?
Well, you got to think about this. Even with Rex, we didn't have great outside pass rushers. You go to Kansas City.
They do.
And you have Tamba Ali. You have Houston. You know, you add Derek Johnson back, who came back from Achilles injury. Mike DeVito, who's also coming back. And you add the young rookie on the outside in Peters. That defense has became elite. And you look at the last 11 wins they've had, their opponents haven't scored over 10 points. So they've gone on an 11-game win streak without allowing an offense to score over 10 points. And I think the same thing is going to happen going into Foxborough this week.
Okay. Are you saying that it's more because of Kansas City than what Brady's doing right now?
I think it is because of more of Kansas City.
Okay.
Their defense is playing out, lights out. And you have Alex Smith on the other side making better decisions. You got to think about this. They beat New England without throwing the ball without a receiver scoring a touchdown last year. Now you add Jeremy Maclin into the mix. You have the young rookie that's coming into having a big role. You have
did well.
Was that Ware, the running back, who's running the ball without Jamal Charles? I mean, so you got an offense that's actually coming together and they're putting the points out and going out with this defense and keeping them in the game.
Yeah. What do you think, Stephen A?
Well, I'm inclined to agree with Antonio Cromartie. Assuming that the New England Patriots don't have all their weapons available to them. I mean, Edelman's supposed to be playing, but hasn't played. We don't know how he's going to look. Amendola is possible, but we don't know about that. Gronk, if I remember correctly, I'm not sure, but I think he missed a practice earlier this week. I'm not sure about that. Okay. Yeah, he missed Wednesday, so we don't know about that. There's a lot of questions with the New England Patriots offensive line, and when you combine that with how efficient Kansas City has been and their third-ranked defense, which gets at the passer and defends the pass very well with Marcus Peters and Eric Berry, Parker and these boys, this guy Sean Smith. Remember, when they started out 1-5, Skip, Sean Smith was out for about 3 games or so due to an NFL suspension. So he's back. So you look at their secondary, those boys are stout. They can get after the passer. There's no question in my mind that they're disciplined enough, and Andy Reid knows what he's doing. They can definitely beat the New England Patriots. Here's the problem that I have, AC. You're Kansas City. You got the 30th ranked passing attack on offense. That was when Jeremy Maclin was healthy. Now he may not go. So if you don't have Maclin in there, all you've got pretty much is Kelsey. I'm not sure that's going to be enough. Your running game has been good, but at the same time, it's not Jamal Charles. Now, you've won without him, but now you're going up against New England. If you don't have Maclin, they may force Alex Smith to throw the football. We know he's reluctant to take chances. And so because of that, I think against New England at Foxborough, they're going to force you into a situation where you're going to have to take chances. And I'm not sure that's going to work in Kansas City's direction, in Kansas City's favor, rather. If Maclin plays and he can go, I'm inclined to agree with you. But right now, I would still give New England a very slight edge, escaping by the skin of their nose with a victory in this contest because it's in Foxborough and because Kansas City is inhibited offensively. I think the combination of those things gives New England a slight edge. But if both squads can come to the game, and Kansas City is healthy and New England doesn't have Amendola and Edelman is significantly rusty, I think Kansas City can win this game as well. So I'm up in the air about it right now.
I'm coming back here to Antonio, what you started off with. I appreciate what you said because, A, it was insightful and you backed it up, and B, it was volatile because I think it might make a couple of headlines in Boston, and those headlines I think will be posted in the Patriot locker room, which could lead to inciting a little riot in the locker room that leads to what I call Psycho Tom out on the field, where all of a sudden Brady's out there bumping face masks with Gronkowski. If Gronk plays, I hope he plays. Psycho Tom. Well, Psycho Tom, that's the guy you can't beat. That's the guy where when I see Psycho Tom, I'm like, I'm good. Yeah. I'm good. Okay, we got this one. So in this case, I'm going to hark back to what happened at the end of your game a few weeks back. You guys were all over him all game. You stymie him, you frustrate him, you play him as well as anybody does year after year, and this is with obviously Todd Bowles in your scheme, but you know how to play him. You know how to contain him relatively. And then all of a sudden, late in the game, he goes 66 yards in 11 plays for the tying touchdown that forces overtime. And I don't know if you will admit this on TV or not, but I got to believe you were at least a little relieved when Belichick out-cuted himself and decided after winning the overtime coin flip to give you the football instead of letting Tom Brady have the football.
Honestly, I was happy that he said it's going to kick, because I was going to, like, if you kick it to him, I'm going to take it to the house anyway.
Oh, you were going to take it to the house.
But no,
I think honestly, Tom Brady would have taken it to the house if you had.
That drive, you give Tom Brady credit. Well, if you go back and look at, if you watch that game, we made a lot of key mistakes. Well, we had blown coverages also, and he took advantage of it. And that's what New England does very well. If you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, you don't see too many blown coverages or in that secondary or with the linebackers dropping in their depth. We had that, and that's the reason why they was able to come back and go down the field and score the game, win a touchdown, even though we did get the victory. But
you did.
But the biggest thing what New England does very well, they capitalize on your mistakes. They try to put you in different kind of schemes to try to get a running back on, maybe a slower linebacker, and now he's picking and choosing where he wants to go. So once you figure that out, now you can figure out where you want to go help it. Now you can have your one-on-ones exactly where you want to go.
Okay.
Because if Gronk plays, Amendola and Edelman is not fully healthy, you know where the ball's going. The ball's going to 87. So just take away 87.
Did you double 87 every play of that game?
No, we did not.
No.
Who
would have him sometimes by himself?
Myself, Revis
Adams.
Marcus Gilchrist. We wasn't too much trying to play double coverage. We wanted to play our defense and play the way we needed to play.
Okay, so I'm going to remind everybody that not too far back, last year's Super Bowl, Tom Brady played, to me, the greatest fourth quarter any quarterback has ever played in a Super Bowl game. He torched the Legion of Boom and brought them back to win that game. Again, we had a very controversial play that ended the game. Malcolm Butler, I thought, made a great play. But my point is, I think you're going to see that guy reemerge now. But I don't know who his weapons will be. Like with Edelman, he's going to try to play on the same Jones fracture that Des Bryant had. Des now says, I shouldn't have even tried to play, and he's got to go back in for a second procedure. Or he just had one. So will Edelman need a second procedure? The odds are he will. So will they have enough weapons with just Amendola and 87 to win this game? That's going to be a huge, high degree of difficulty challenge.
Definitely.
Yep.
Early reports on Jeremy Maclin, by the way, on that mild high ankle sprain are positive.
Yep.
So it's Chiefs-Pats, 4:35 Eastern in Foxborough, looking to play in the AFC Championship game. We all will, and you will be tuned in for this next subject. Hugh Jackson is in, which reportedly means Johnny Manziel is out. We'll discuss what is next.